and welcome. My name is Michelle. I'm your emotional resilience coach, and it is fantastic to have you back here with me again today. We are chatting at the moment. I'm doing a short series on what emotional resilience looks like. And so much of it comes back to our thinking, just practicing writing those thinking patterns. Our thinking patterns and way of being, we're not going to judge ourselves and beat ourselves up for. It's what we learned. It's what our caregivers taught us. It's what society does. And so often it just does not serve us. So if you're excited to take your power back, if you're excited to just step out of the dysfunctional ways of being, if you are no longer wanting to be a victim in your own life, you're wanting to thrive in life and not just survive, stick around. Stick in this journey with me. We are going to go places that just help us take our power back. If this is something that resonates with you, click like, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, let me know what you think, tell me your thoughts. I love engaging with you and hearing what you have to offer too. Alright, so today I'm going to be chatting about catastrophizing. So what is catastrophizing? And when it comes to this example, I often think of parenting. And maybe it's because I saw this pattern often in my grandmother. It was something she does, it was something my mother does, it was something I do. When it comes to our parenting, we are so hard on ourselves and we tend to blow up and make things worse than they actually are when involving our children. So I'll give you a for instance. Have you ever said, and this is something moms generally always say, nobody ever listens to me. Why bother? Why bother? We throw up our hands and we say, no one listens to me anyway, you just carry on with it and whatever. We kind of have this defeatist give up. And the reason why we're doing that is because we have made this molehill into this mountain. We have made this whole thing, we've blown it up in our heads to be bigger than what it actually is. And so maybe they haven't listened to us, but that doesn't mean that they never listen to us, all right? So a way to kind of shift our thinking pattern is to look for opportunities where your children have actually listened to you. And they do, mama. They watch you all the time. They just, sometimes they like to try and figure things out themselves and do things themselves, or they're not focused, or they're tired, or whatever the case may be. Normally, unfortunately, it coincides when we're tired and grumpy and emotions flare and there's a little bit of tension in the home. And we think, why? Why bother, right? We bother because they're our children. We say it, we keep trying, but in that moment, there's a lot of frustration. And sometimes we lash out, and sometimes we'll shout at them and like, why do I even try? You don't listen to anything I say, and we just really let all that frustration out. What I like to do is just take a deep breath, sit back, and go, all right, I'm catastrophizing here. What is it that I'm upset about? And is this thought true? When do they listen to me? So I have a daughter, she is 20 years old, she's out on a mission for our church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and often in her emails, I can hear myself echoing back. I can hear the wording she uses, the choice she uses, a lot of her thoughts that she uses are thoughts I've shared with her, things I've said with her, conversations we've had in the past. I can hear them echoing back. She does listen to me. She's telling me, she's telling friends and family, thoughts and feelings that we have shared with each other, and it's just evident in the way she writes her emails. If you want to listen to your children have conversations with their friends. Listen to some of the things that they say when they think you're not listening. It's very revealing and it often makes me smile. Oh, I have 4 children. Sometimes amongst themselves, as siblings, some of the things they say. I mean, yes, some of it makes us cringe and, oh, that sounds like me, not in a good way. And some of us makes us pause and go, yeah, that sounds like me. And own it. It was good advice. It was something we'd said to them. It was something that they did store away as a golden little nugget into their subconscious, and it's coming out later. Obviously, look for evidence in actions, things that they do. You know, they might moan about it, but they will clean their room. They might sigh and grow and drag their feet, but they will wash their dishes. They do. Let's give credit where credit is due. Let's not catastrophize and go, oh, you never listen to me. All right? Sometimes we do that with our spouses. We say the same thing. You never listen to me. And we get frustrated. We want to tear our hair out. But let's be honest. If we take pause and we think and we connect and we engage with interactions we've had, you can see where they've listened to you. You can see the little things that they do. It's there. And let's just focus on the positive. Let's focus on the good. Let's just build. Let's create. All right. So many of us have come from dysfunctional homes, dysfunctional environments, dysfunctional patterns and ways of being, and we don't want to perpetuate that. We want to create something wonderful, something loving. And so part of that creation is giving credit where credit is due and building people up all the time, building yourself up. For me, it's really hard. Sometimes I'll hear something and I'll go, oh, that's amazing. And I've got to own that and say, hey, I did that, or we did that. My husband and I, we did that. And like, well done. And it feels so uncomfortable because society has this idea of don't love yourself. Don't own it. You know, if we kind of feel that we're going to be stepping into dangerous territory where perhaps we're being prideful. But, you know, we can get carried away with that. But on the whole, I have found that we don't. You know, we stay pretty humble. Life has its way of humbling us and humbling our families and just kind of leveling the playing field and just own those moments. It's not a bad thing to own those moments. Like, yeah, I did that. My kid is doing well. My kid is thriving. My kid is happy. My kid is excelling. And I'm part and parcel of that. And well done me. And then we carry on because our work is never done, right? Another example I'm going to give you real quickly is, let's say somebody lies to you. Maybe it's a friend. Maybe it's a spouse. Sometimes it's our children. They don't like to get into trouble. And what we do is we get our backs up. And especially when it's our children, we get scared. We're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they just lied to me. What is their future going to look like? Who are they going to be as adults? Where is their value and moral system that I'm trying to instill in them? How can they do this? Like, how can they get away with this? And they need to be put. And yes, obviously, a conversation does need to happen. And yes, obviously, if it's severe, there needs to be consequences. But at the same time, why did they lie to us? What were they scared of? What was the fear behind that lie? Let's look at that. And then look at all, again, the good that they do. The little things, you know, maybe it's bringing you a cup of tea in the afternoon and patting you on the head and saying, love you, Mom, as they run past. Maybe it's coming to sit with you and asking you to help them with their homework. Maybe it's just asking you to help them make their breakfast or whatever it is, little ways and means that they show you that they love you, they want to connect with you, they want to engage with you, and they're not bad, all right? If it's a case, even just as it would be with children, with adults, it's the same question. It's a case of what is the fear behind this? Yes, there are definitely times when it's just pure manipulation, but we can use our discernment, all right? We can use our discernment about what is actually going on here. Again, where can I build? Where can I strengthen? How do I need to be? How can I show up to allow my child to feel that this is a safe space? How can I not come across as maybe being overly judgy or critical that this person feels that they need to lie, all right? It's not about you. So often what we do, especially as parents, is we immediately make it be a reflection on us. We do this. If it's negative, we make it a reflection on us. If it's good, we're scared to own it. And so we own all of it. We own the good. That's what I was talking about, leveling the playing field. We own the good and we own the bad. What is my part in this? Why did this happen? How can I help this to not happen going forward? Is there a boundary we need to set? My children, are there consequences that they need to see through? What is it that we need to do to teach them and build them up? We don't need to catastrophize and say, oh my gosh, my child is a liar, they're going to end up in jail, they're going to end up as outcasts, they're going to end up alone. We don't need to go to the extreme form. That's what catastrophizing is when we allow our brains to go to worst case scenario all the time, and we assume the worst about the people that we are in a relationship with. We can stop that by saying, all right, what is actually going on here? This is not about me. They're going through something. Is there some way I can help them through this? All right? That is an amazing way to just help us not have resentment in our relationships, to not allow space for dysfunction and destruction. Obviously, boundaries are very important. I've done videos on that. If it comes to a stage where perhaps a relationship is looking like it's a bit toxic because of the lies, that is something that you have to kind of relook, readdress, reframe, and decide, do you want to continue that relationship or not? But do go back and have a look at my past videos. I hope that you found this helpful. If you did, if it resonated with you, please do share with whoever you feel needs to hear this. Hit like, hit the subscribe button, and as always, I love to hear from you. Have a most fantastic day. Don't forget, we want to thrive, not just survive.